What's up, fight fans? I'm Flyin Brian J for MMAmania.com. First of all, please give the video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Now we're talking about the main event of UFC Fight Night 99, takes place November 19th from Belfast, Northern Ireland. We've got Gegard The Dreamcatcher Mousasi looking for redemption against Uriah Primetime Hall. In the first matchup at the beginning of the second round, Uriah Hall threw a spinning back kick that landed on Gegard's dome piece, followed it up with a flying knee, and finished the Dreamcatcher with some ground and pound. It was beautiful, and it was really, really violent. Since that fight, Hall is 0-2. Mousasi is 3-0. So it's interesting that Mousasi wants this fight at all. He must just be really motivated to get that loss back and to get that redemption. And so for that reason, I think that he might have the edge mentally. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about each guy mentally. First of all, Mousasi normally is a really cerebral fighter and has really high fight IQ. But when he fought Hall the first time, he showed a few lapses in his fighting IQ. Starting within the first round when he went for mount over and over, even though he doesn't have fantastic ground and pound, he went for mount and he wasn't high enough on Hall's chest and got bucked off on at least 2 separate occasions. I don't think that he should do that again, and I think that was a little bit of lacking fight IQ. Then at the beginning of the second round, we know that he had a little bit of success against Hall in the first round, so he went for a takedown right away at the beginning of the second round, but he didn't set it up first, and that's what basically got him finished with that spinning back kick to the dome piece. A couple of lapses of judgment by Mousasi, and he has even said since then that sometimes when he's too cerebral, his performances are really lacking. I think he overthought it. I think that he was overthinking fighting Hall on the feet, and so he just really, really wanted to get it to the ground, and he really wanted to finish him when he was kind of scared of the feet, I think, against Hall. On the flip side, let's talk about Hall and how we don't know which version of him is ever going to show up. Sometimes he shows up mad and he is a world beater. He could put anybody out with those spinning techniques and those vicious punches. He has a fantastic check left hook, spinning techniques for days, spinning heels to people's dome pieces, put them out, spinning back kick to the head, and he also has a right high round kick that's pretty devastating as well. Some days he shows up and he just looks like he's going through the motions and he doesn't really even want to fight, or maybe he doesn't want to hurt his opponent. We don't know which version of him is going to show up. Everybody knows how to beat Uriah Hall. You pressure him and you take him down. But when he fought Moose, he showed off some pretty solid submission skills. He hit a chain of 2 submissions in a row off of his back on the Moose. He hit a Kimura followed by an armbar attempt, but he was unable to finish either of them or even reverse position, and Moose was able to keep top position and keep on working that ground and pound and transition game. His ground and pound isn't that devastating. I'm speaking of Mousasi. His ground and pound isn't that devastating, but it is effective enough to have the ref keep it on the ground. Now, in the rematch, I don't see it going much different as the first time, but I think that this time Mousasi will be able to sink in the rear naked choke that he almost had in the first fight. The reason for that is he won't have that lapse of judgment where he would go in for that takedown right away without setting it up. I feel like in the rematch, he's going to set it up more. He's going to be able to be more in tune with how it's going on the feet, and he'll have a little bit more confidence. But speaking of confidence, we don't know which version of Uriah Hall is going to show up. He's already defeated this guy one time, so I would hope that the best version of him shows up because he knows he is capable of doing that. But he's also coming off of a TKO loss to Derek Brunson. So once again, we really don't know where Uriah Hall is. I think that Mousasi, we're going to see the best version of him. Lately, people have been calling him Mousasi, and I think that Gegard Mousasi is at least twice as good as Gegard Mousasi. I think that once again, Gegard will catch a kick, get Uriah to the ground, and able to sink in a rear naked choke early in round number 2. Also, if it goes into the later rounds, we don't know how Uriah Hall is going to look because he's never been booked for a 5-round fight. Mousasi has went the 5-round distance on 2 separate occasions. So we're going to give the fight IQ advantage to Gegard Mousasi, the advantage of being a 5-round fight to Gegard Mousasi. He has the overall grappling advantage because he has better wrestling than Hall, and Hall has a detriment in the defensive wrestling game. But on the feet, we're going to give a power advantage to Uriah Hall. That's the great equalizer. He could put anybody out at a moment's notice, just like he did against Gegard the first time, with a high kick, with a spinning technique, or even with a check left hook. We don't really know. I will not be surprised at all if once again Uriah hits a fantastic spinning technique that could put Mousasi down. A lot of people think that that was a once-in-a-lifetime kick and it was a fluke that Uriah hit Gegard with in the first fight. It wasn't a fluke. He threw that kick on purpose with fight-ending intentions and he landed it. That's not a fluke. That's perfection. Tell me who you're picking in the comment section down below. Please give the video a thumbs up and I'll see you on my next one. Namaste.